I'm not.
Well,
Yeah, you're
say the wrong thing, don't kicked up the team.
No, I've been nervous all day. I have.
You're the face of mountain biking, Titters. It doesn't matter.
I don't know about that.
Fans have been waiting here.
Eh?
Fans have waited. 31. Building up suspense.
Yes, it. Fashionably late.
How are the views building?
Good.
Yeah?
Really good, yeah.
Good. It's a real good thing to do, I think.
It's definitely really good. I will admit, at first I was a little bit like, it's a lot of effort, isn't it? But as I knew that, like anything, innit, it's always a mission at the first, and then
You never know, though,
it's just
do
been
you? It's better to
building
fail
and
at something.
building and building,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Trying to do it. It's better to,
Yeah,
fail and
of course
try
it
than
is,
not
of
try,
course
isn't
it
it?
is, yeah, 100%. No,
Right.
full respect.
Not
on,
failures.
We're on
Oh.
now, are we?
Hello.
Hello, welcome to Pen TV Live. The usual fellas behind it. We've got Stu over there, Stuart Kevin Hughes.
Good evening.
We got Doc in the corner,
Hi,
working the
guys.
magic, myself. And that takes us to tonight's guest in the middle. Good old friend of ours, mountain bike legend from back in the day and from now. Still pinned, Andrew Titley.
Thank you.
So these guys, with his teammates, we got Charlie Hatton over there, and we got Joe Breeden here. These are part of the new, is it Intense UK? So Intense, is it Intense Saddleback?
No, it's just-
Intense Racing UK, isn't it?
Intense Racing UK.
Yeah.
So this is part of a 6-man team, is it? 5-man, one
Person.
girl team, is that right?
no,
Seven.
Seven or
six
so.
flags.
Yeah,
close them
Yeah, yeah. So obviously you can see how tight things are. We ain't going to get more than this on here. So this was tonight's crew. Do you want to get things started, Stu?
What I could do, what is it we want to talk about? Is it this lot we're going to talk
I
about?
think this
first?
lot. I think what we'll
Yeah,
do
well,
is we'll work through the questions sort of one by one, rather than interviewing them one at a time. That'll get a bit of
Yeah.
dreary.
Well, what we'll do to start with, I think what everybody will want to know is what did you do to get into it? Your early days,
Yeah.
your first sort of thing that made you want to get into the mountain biking. I mean, I know, Titley, you've been doing it since you were like 2 or something, or 1 even maybe. I don't know. It's been a long
14
time.
or something like that, yeah.
You've never missed a season.
Not really,
at
a
all,
few
have you?
bits here and there, like with injuries and stuff, but pretty solid, like every year for 28 years or whatever.
28
it is.
years.
Yeah,
You must be
yeah.
one of the longest running racers in the UK.
I guess
Gotta
it's
be.
got to be, really.
Yeah.
A few people come and go, don't they? But and then claim that they've been racing all this time. But I guess I'm one of the few that
You must be like
stuck with it. Yeah.
certainly level with PTI in terms of time racing, or was he
He's-
just before you, or what?
No, he was quite a bit after me. Pete,
So you
about
must
3 or
be-
4 years after me.
Sure.
And you
then
used to
you've
beat
got
him,
it.
didn't you?
I had
Just remind him of that. I'm sure he'll be watching.
Probably a handful, but not many. It didn't take
Yeah.
him long to get up
Well,
to
we'll
pace.
come on to
and
that one after, because I know there's a quite a memorable race that you did well at.
So what was
in
your-
Italy?
What was your
That was-
first
yeah,
races?
yeah.
What was your first experience of getting into riding, Ters?
Well, mountain biking was pretty basic when I first started, and it was really random, really. Just the school that I went to in Shrewsbury
Yeah.
just hired a couple of really, early mountain bikes and said, "Oh, do you want to go up to Hormond Hill and ride these bikes?" And for me, not being a huge fan of school, I was like, any opportunity to get out of there, really. So I was like, yeah, I'm up for that sort of thing. So, went and rode around Hormond on these pretty roach bikes,
Yeah.
really. But,
Yeah.
just loved it straight away. And I hadn't done a huge amount of competitive sport, but, whenever we'd gone on school ski trips and things like that, I was always the fastest one
Fully
of them,
charged.
and I was always pretty committed with stuff like that. So
What age? What year?
I was like 14, so whatever year 14 is.
Well, I don't know. You're younger than me.
It's a
What are
long
you
time
now?
ago.
You're 40.
41.
41.
Yeah.
So
He's
that's
had an
gotta
easy
be what,
paper round, hasn't he?
28 years?
Yeah.
28 years
Yeah,
racing.
yeah.
So
That's
you
good.
other lads, Charlie, what about you? How did it start for you? And how old are you now?
I am 19 years old.
19. Bloody hell, that seems like a long time ago.
Yeah. My brothers used to ride, just messing about in the woods, building a few jumps.
Yeah.
And then, that's the reason I started riding, really, just because of them. They used to bully me into hitting jumps that I couldn't do, like.
So you're from a good spot for riding as well, aren't you?
Yeah,
Have you
I
always
live-
been from Forest of Dean?
Yeah, I lived in Forest Dean all my life, so yeah, my back garden is the woods.
Yeah.
Got trails literally everywhere.
We
so
know.
It's a
pretty
nice
We
back
know.
garden, isn't it?
It is a nice back garden.
Stu and I went last year before a fateful race, wasn't it, Stu? We went and we rode with Charlie for the day, and yeah, we could see that he was pretty slow then. Really, you know, I had to show him a few things, make his speed up, especially jumping. He was struggling a bit, wasn't he?
He
Stu?
was struggling a bit.
Yeah. So I showed him the way, and you know, he's done all right since then. But then the next day, I ended up with my foot at 3 o'clock. Didn't I remember?
Yeah, I remember.
So I think it was Charlie's fault actually.
So
yeah.
really, because you never even hit one of them jumps, so I don't know how that happened.
Well, I don't want to show him up, do I?
No, fair
I feel
one.
bad, wouldn't
Fair
he?
one. Okay. We won't talk about that injury.
Yeah. So your early days were out with your brothers.
Yeah. And then obviously living close to the pedal bikeway centre.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where I did my first race
Yeah.
on the hardtail.
What age?
That was, I think I was 12. Some rippers. It was the only race in the UK that had like a ripper class,
Yeah.
which is under like juvenile. So yeah.
Well,
So
I
it all
remember
started.
seeing you for the first time at the Forest of Dean in 2014.
Yeah.
I think were you on a Lapierre or something then?
Yeah. So I got a pretty lucky deal, really. I was doing something for Dirt Magazine,
Right. Yeah.
just like a product review over the year, racing the bike, and yeah, it was ideal.
So you'd have been you're 19 now, so you'd have been 15, 16.
Yeah, 15.
And I know that pretty much then you were usually fastest time of the day. But I remember
Yeah.
seeing you for the first time, and you know, people said, "Oh, you know, it's a local lad."
Yeah.
And I couldn't believe that he was only 16. And
Yeah.
like, I remember seeing you thinking, "Christ, he's fast."
Yeah.
But I think we did have one or two
Yeah, I
where we
remember,
were
yeah,
really
yeah.
close, weren't
Yeah.
we? I think I had you once, didn't I?
Yeah, probably.
Might have been the
I'll give you that
time.
one.
It could have been the time in the wet when,
When you punctured.
Yeah, I got a flat
No,
tire that.
I think it was that wet day when I did okay, when I let Danny Hart beat me.
Yeah.
Oh
Just
yeah,
the
yeah.
once,
I've heard of him. He's
There you
alright.
go, anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you've done
Yeah, we've heard
your
about this
trade.
race a few times. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Won't let it go, will he?
You've got to cling. You've got to cling on to these things when
Yeah.
there's only
It's
one
on
race
my
to
thing.
talk about that was actually
Oh.
worth talking about. But so you did your time in the Forest of Dean.
Yeah.
Joe, I think we kind of know where you started off. I mean,
Revolution bike.
Revolution Bike Park.
Yeah, when I was like 12, 13 is when I started riding downhill, and before I used to ride Revolution Bike Park. I was just riding like with my mates from home, like at Malvern, doing our own uplifts and
Yeah.
around the garden and anywhere local really. But
So
when
how old
I-
are you? Sorry.
I'm 17.
17.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
So yeah, it's like first downhill in 2012, and I just like Revolution Bike Park pretty much every weekend,
Mm.
Yeah.
nothing else. And
Pretty
then,
handy there.
yeah, like
So if you're 17, you must have. You've got to have some forged ID. Because you look about 14, don't you?
well,
That's lucky.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's a good thing. That's
He's
a good
tall
thing.
though. He's tall.
Yeah, he is
Yeah.
tall. Yeah.
Is
yeah.
it right? Because as you know, myself and Jim are fairly pally with the Athertons and all those guys, and we did a bit of work up there a few years ago. And is it right that you used to write to them for 2 or 3 years saying, can you help me out? Can you do
that's
something on the team?
very true. Yeah,
Is it?
And nothing ever happened, did it?
nothing. No, up to like.
I'm just
even-
wondering whether or not that might be a mistake.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's right.
But
Because
they
this
answer
kid
you.
can ride.
Every year until this year. So
Oh.
this coming into this off season, I had a really good CV, and I emailed it to Dan Brown like 2 or 3 times, and I unfortunately never had a reply. But like they've got caged, so that's sick.
You didn't
Yeah.
get a reply off Dan.
No,
It's unusual,
not this
isn't
time.
it?
That's
Nice
not like him.
Yeah,
No, every like the years before that I did, and from Jill House, so she was really like
Jill's
trying to
lovely.
help me
yeah,
out.
yeah.
But no, nothing.
They are all lovely. To be
Just
fair.
when you're
They're nice
going
people.
Yeah,
to
they're
be
lost.
nah.
They're lost.
But they-
yeah.
That's right. Our
They were
game.
set with Cade,
Yeah.
and like he's actually sick, so fair enough.
Yeah.
And now I landed with this, so I can yeah.
And you live in one of the hardest names for an Englishman to pronounce, but I'll have a go. Llanfwllyn? Is
well,
that right?
yeah, I'm near to Llanfwllyn, yeah.
Llanfwllyn. Which, if you're English and you just read it, it says landfilling.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
Yeah, and I remember being lost around there years ago and asking a local where landfilling was, and he just looked at me like I was mental.
Well, somebody
We
said,
might
yeah,
do
someone,
that.
the
Yeah.
trails, the trails in the woods at
Yeah,
Llanfwllyn. Somebody was trying to give me directions to them, and I just kept looking on the map for it. And could I find this place? Could I? And then I realised that it looks like landfilling or whatever,
Yeah,
landfilling or
yeah.
whatever it is. But there you go. Anyway, so
So going back to early days, I think we need to mention a little bit about Titley here because God knows how many deals you've had. I know something. I know because you've told me. I think you've been fully sponsored with a bike every year since '92.
Yeah,
Is that right?
Yeah,
I remember that. 'Cause I tell
Yeah.
everyone that.
It's not
And
bad,
yeah, because it's like I like to get things for now, and then I see that and think,
you?
oh, I might as well forget it.
It's not like him.
So back in the day,
Yeah.
when you turned elite and you were with MBUK,
Yeah.
I would say, tell me if I'm wrong, Stu. I would say, I'll put my neck out here. Titley is probably the reason why Shropshire is so popular for mountain biking and why there's so many mountain bikers over here, because you were virtually a superstar in mountain biking in those days.
Yeah, I mean, it was MBUK, when you rode on their team, with it being
It was
like
massive,
the main
wasn't it?
sort of, glossy magazine that everyone, pre-internet, everyone was reading the magazines, and that was the main UK magazine with pretty
Yeah.
big subscription, and the team riders were very highly,
Tom Edwards.
Yeah, Tom
Yeah.
Edwards. Yeah, we got so much publicity in every month's magazines that they.
Well, it was the
did
only
make
way
it.
that people read the mags all the time, and the coverage.
Tom
was
got in the
massive.
girly mags, didn't he? Didn't he get in?
I got in.
Did you get which one was it?
Mayfair.
Mayfair.
Yeah.
Did you?
Yeah.
I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
yeah. Sandals found out the hard way.
Oh, but so they must have been really good there. And that was the days when you had a cross-country rider, sensible, go to sleep early, eat all the right food, then you had these bloody nut job downhillers back in the day.
I might just say though that you were a cross country rider, weren't
Originally, yeah.
You were a very good cross-country rider, weren't
Yeah,
you?
pretty good. Yeah.
And you were probably a better road rider than anything, weren't you? Or you had potential to be.
I just did it all really. I mean, I will say to sort of Dave Manor was sort of originally from the sort of road, cyclocross background, and
Yeah.
he just encouraged me because he knew how fit I was, probably fit from the mountain biking as much as
Yeah.
anything. So he just sort of encouraged me to do as much racing of every type, and said it'll all be good experience whether you like it or not. And I did well. I was like divisional road race champion. I was national cyclocross rider. I was did a time trials, cross country mountain biking racing. I think I was top 3 in the country as a junior cross country, and then sort of
Then you
realised
were
how
on-
much fun the downhill was. And
You
sort
got
of
into
went
the
over to
downhill and
that.
got into all like the going away abroad, doing all the lots of filming, which
yeah.
camcorder
A
stuff.
few beers along the way.
And
yeah.
some of
We've
the
had a few
original-
trips, haven't we?
Yeah, we've had a lot of fun. haven't
I'd
we?
say that back in the day, myself, Stu, and Titley have been up to all sorts of no good that can't be repeated on here. But we've had a lot of fun, haven't we? Hell of a lot of fun.
I think
The early days were
Yeah.
early
something
days
else.
of downhill mountain biking, we had no one really to aspire to be like. There was no one in front of us doing it to sort of go, oh, I want to be the next so and so. So we were just sort of looking at other extreme sports like, say, snowboarding or things like that,
Yeah.
and Palmer and things like that, and we just, thought, well, we might as well just have a good rage and enjoy it as much as we can, and sort of weren't. Obviously, we wanted to do well at the races, but I think we wanted to have.
But the
fun.
thing is, everybody
More so.
almost, most people had the same mindset back there. So nowadays you've got probably, for a downhill, I would say 300 riders average, and probably 270 of those riders are not going to be having a pint the night before, are
No,
they?
that's
Whereas
right, it's gone very serious.
20 years ago, 270 riders would have a pint the night before,
yeah,
and
that's
30
right, yeah.
probably
Because
wouldn't.
all the races would have
Yeah,
beer tents and stuff.
yeah,
wouldn't they?
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. So-
We'd all just get levered.
Yeah, it was. a
and
good
we
day.
did.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
did, yeah.
I remember Stu at, not to get you in any trouble,
Thanks.
so I'll get Stu in trouble instead. I remember Stu at a lot of the races that we used to go to, and you were a senior, it was your last year senior, and you were competing with Crawford, Carrick Anderson and Rich Guppy were your main competitors, remember? It was
Yeah, I
all
remember.
3 of you,
Yeah.
dead similar. I think you won the championship, didn't you, overall?
Oh, I can't remember. They
But
were dead professional, weren't
You
they?
used to get so out, they were really professional, Crawford and
Yeah,
Guppy. and you used to get absolutely slaughtered the night before a race.
You've got to be
Throw-
relaxed for these
throw
things.
up on the line, nearly every race, didn't you? You'd throw up on the
Yeah.
line and quite often win.
Yeah.
I'm
You've
sure
got to
they
get out of
hated
your
you
system
for it.
though, haven't you? You know, you've got to clear the system and have a clear mind before you can do
Yeah,
the job.
yeah.
But anyway, enough about me. Moving on to
I think, Charlie,
let's see
what
what he's gonna
about
say.
when did you sort of start to realise you were good enough to be sponsored, and what was your first sort of decent deal that kind of, or your first decent race that put you on the map?
So the first ever sponsor I ever had was Fly Up Downhill, you know?
Yeah.
The uplift company.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a t-shirt from them, so that's where it started really.
Yeah.
No, I was so happy for that, like. And then I think I did my first BDS as a juvenile. And I got smoked. 16 seconds. I come second, but I was 16 seconds behind the leader, James Purvis, and I was like, I'm never ever going to beat this kid. Like,
Yeah.
And then from there, Dirt Magazine gave me a bike
Yeah.
to test for the year. And yeah, ever since then, really, I've had support from Wide Open Mag last year.
Jamie, yeah,
Jamie,
good lad.
yeah.
We like Jamie, don't we?
So yeah, that was really good last year.
So who was sorted you out of dirt? Was it Jonesy or?
Yeah, so Steve Jones, he lives
He's a legend.
5 minutes from my house.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, I sort of knew him from just riding around the area. And yeah, he was the one that sorted all that out. So
He
yeah,
can still ride, can't he?
he's really
Bloody
good.
hell.
Did well at the Masters World.
Yeah, yeah. Another one trained by
Millway?
Millway, wasn't he?
Yeah,
Your
yeah.
coach.
Yeah, for World
Yeah,
last
he,
year.
he took Millway on his coaching chap last year, and
Yeah.
If Jonesy still races in his wellies.
yeah,
Does it?
that was his. Did you know that
You
about
say
him
that.
back in the day? He raced in wellies and in elite.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
say that. A couple of days ago, I was out building a new track. Jonesy came around the corner and he had wellies on, e-bike. Oh, it's so funny. He said it was the best ride he's had
I,
like ever.
I said to him actually at the Saddleback launch
Yeah.
last year when they moved premises, and I said to him, I said, "What? Come on, then. What's your best bike you've ever ridden?" Because obviously he's ridden
Yeah.
way more than me. And he said his e-bike that is a Trek e-bike he's on.
Yeah,
at the moment. He said my Trek e-bike. He says there's nothing comes near it. And I couldn't
Yeah.
believe it from
Classic
Jonesy.
Jonesy though, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. He likes to be a bit different.
Well, he's getting on now as well, I suppose, a bit. So.
Yeah, he's
Well,
got to
probably
be
not as good
60.
as that mini bike session we had around the Forest of Dean with following Jonesy. That was pretty wild.
Wow,
wasn't it?
that
Yeah.
was one
That was
of the
epic, wasn't
nuts
it?
things.
I don't think
Yeah.
you get away
That
with
was a
that
good
now,
night.
would you? Would you get
I
away
nearly
with
rode
that?
over your head, didn't I?
Yeah, yeah. I think on that note, we probably don't need to talk about why you nearly ran over my head. It was an eventful night,
Yes, it was.
and that is that. So we'll leave it at that. Sorry,
Joe,
changing the subject, please.
the same with
Sorry.
you. When was your sort of first experience where you thought, bloody hell, I'm good at this. I need to get on the map and get myself a deal, or did someone else approach you and say, like to help you?
Probably wasn't until 2015 really.
Yeah,
2014 or 2013 I did 4 Pierce races,
yeah,
but that was it, just to get into it. And then as a juvenile I was like sometimes top 3 but top 4, something like that. And then 2014 I did 2 BDS, and the first one I had 12th, and then I did the first round I think, and the last round I had 12th the first round and 6th
Yeah.
the last round, and that was my first year in youth. So that's when I thought, when I was 6th the last round as a first year youth, I thought, you know, I haven't really done much racing, I haven't like committed myself to it. And then I had 3rd at Welsh Champs that year, and I thought, you know, like I could really do something I really wanted to. So the following year, like I just worked so hard in the off season, then Revolution Bike Park supported me like really well, and
You've definitely come on a lot.
yeah, like massively in that season.
It's like when you know, we probably take more notice of you guys being quick than you do when we're just riding now. But I remember when you first started, sort of just inching your way into the results and stuff, and yeah, I mean,
Yeah, like
you,
in the
you were going, yeah, I was putting time into it,
yeah.
and then within 3 or 4 months, you know, just massively quicker.
It's
Yeah.
nuts when you
Yeah.
see that happen to
Yeah.
a rider.
Yeah,
as well,
because
isn't it?
Well, I suppose you know you go from being 14. the body changes a lot from 14 to 15, 16, 17, whatever.
Yeah.
And suddenly you become something that, you're a bit of a force. So
There's also like a
the
lot to do
change
with
with
the
you guys is just massive in your speed.
So,
So it's good to see.
interruption. Ow, that hurt my bad finger. Don't know if I mentioned I've got a
We're
bad
late,
finger.
aren't we?
Yeah, it's
Oh.
7:50, Doc, so it's time for Crash of the Week. What have we got?
Crash of the week. Right. This one's been sent in by Ryan, and it's actually just a bit of a silly one.
Okay.
So here we go, boys. Here he comes.
Hello. So that was the bike going one way and then going
Red
the
delete
other.
that one.
he looks okay. You're just thinking, what?
That's
the
one of them
hell
arguments
is
you're
there?
never going to win, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, Ryan,
Red delete that one.
if you send us a direct message on Pin's Facebook with your details, and I'll get back to you, and you won yourself a pair of Saks pants. As Saks are, they are sponsoring the Crash
They
of
are
the
very
Week.
good.
Because
They
looks
are
like
very
you need
good,
some new
yeah.
pants from that.
I reckon at this point we should probably say if we've got any questions or comments.
Yes.
We got loads of comments.
Yeah.
But no questions yet.
Wanna
So
read
get
a
your
few
questions
comments
in,
out?
guys. So we'll have a few comments. Tyler Hughes says hi, and can we have a shout out for Louis?
Hello,
Get
Tyler
that
and
one in.
Louis.
Ben Hickins says, yo boys.
All right,
Robert
Ben.
Butcher, evening lads. Mark Horrocks, hi guys. Anthony Webb, evening chat.
To be fair, we didn't actually
Yeah.
ask anyone to send any questions in at the beginning, did we? So send your questions in, folks, for
Yeah.
these lads.
You can ask him anything you like.
Yeah.
Andrew Bickley says he loves Mayfair magazine. It's his
Does he?
favourite.
Oh, we've got a little Andrew Bickley story. I just want to get this one out quickly because this will do his head in.
Yeah.
He loves the episode that I'm in.
I went riding with Bix on Saturday. We did a big XC loop and a bit of enduro stages round Shelve and Corndon all around Shropshire. And he got his hard tail out the van, and Vinny Crichton Poley rode off up the road about 10 yards, did a no-handed wheelie. So Bix decided to copy him. Didn't quite get the brake on time, and he landed on his coccyx. He was in so much pain all the way around on the floor.
He's going to be sore for weeks.
Oh,
isn't he?
he was really sore.
Oh, well, I
So,
suppose the only thing that he can do is look at Mayfair now.
Yeah, exactly. You'll be alright, Andy. You'll learn some skills.
So, the bigger they are, the harder they fall.
Well, there is that.
Sorry.
So, I think next question for you, Andy.
Go on then.
Andy.
I never call you Andy
Yeah, I know.
because I'm on
surprised I
telly.
didn't answer to that.
Titters.
Shirl's watching. She knows what we call
Yeah. Profession. Do you want to tell everyone what you do for a job as well as obviously being a top
Yeah, I'm
racer?
a landscape gardener.
Yeah.
My own landscape gardening
In
firm.
what town? We haven't mentioned where you live.
Yeah, down in Bristol now.
Yeah.
I live down in Bristol. Been down there for 10 years. So, yeah, no, I enjoy it. You know, it's nice being my own boss. Means I can work hard, but also gives me the opportunity to, you know, concentrate on my training and the racing that I do, which I do a lot of. So, yeah.
Do you want to plug your work? Because I've seen a lot of Andy's works. He puts a lot on Facebook and he does a lot of bespoke sort
Yeah.
of oak work. It's
Yeah,
really
I do a
nice.
lot of well, mainly work with well, not with oak, with wood really, with timber, and sort of build, you know, log stores and decks and sort of, you know, not that
Nice
different
stuff.
to Stu
Yeah.
really, but yeah, probably not as
Have
good
you
as
worked with Stu?
but-
When
No,
you've done
No,
a bit of
actually,
work
to
with
be
Stu?
honest, a
Work
lot
is
of the
good,
stuff
man.
I learned from Stu, so you know, it's good
Yeah,
to learn from
yeah.
someone that's good at it, and you know, take it on from there. So
Yeah.
And
You've
what
lost the
about-
odd spirit level, haven't you, on the odd job?
yeah, I did lose one.
Well, but that
Yeah.
sort of bounced out
It
the
ended
garden,
up
didn't it?
it ended up bouncing off a grave in the cemetery. Bent in half. Surprised it didn't come back like a boomerang.
See, boys, you were asking questions about Titley, and they found it out.
Yeah. So what about you boys? What about you, Charlie? Do you work or? what do you
Yeah.
do?
So my dad owns his own business, carpenter,
Yeah.
and he also does like general building. So yeah, I do some labouring for him.
All right,
Get some-
Les.
Yeah, Les, if you're
Les.
watching, how are you? So yeah, I just help him out labouring, and yeah, it's family business. My brother's work, my uncle.
So he's pretty good with your sort of racing time.
Yeah,
off
exactly.
and
Yeah, so
sportive
I
and-
work whenever I can to get some money,
Yeah.
and then yeah. And,
Joe.
So I'm still at school like a couple of days a week. in the winter, and also like I run like my own little workshop at the moment, so I do a bit of work on local people's bikes.
Oh, that's cool.
So that keeps me ticking over, and then it's just training and school, and that's like all my time.
So you're a
Right,
bit of a
gone,
bike
really.
mechanic as well, are
Yeah,
you?
yeah. So I've been doing that, like my own bikes since I started.
Oh, cool.
It's funny, isn't it, when
That's
someone who's 17 says school, because like when I was young, 16, it was over, and it's 18 now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, did you not even know that?
I've been to school for a long time.
Did you even go? Did you ever go?
May as well have not bothered going, no.
See your spelling.
Missy said to me the other night, she said, what did you get in maths? Your GCSE? I was like, I ain't got a clue.
I'll tell you what I got in maths.
I know what it
Thrown out
was,
most
but-
of the time. You ever
Boys.
been expelled?
No, I haven't been expelled.
You haven't been
no, I
expelled?
know,
No,
no.
I was suspended.
Oh.
I don't even know if
I got expelled from 2
I
schools.
wasn't too bad.
Bloody dickhead. Me.
Still.
Right.
Let's ask these boys, what are your favourite tracks?
Yes.
In the UK or
Yeah, in the
Worldwide.
well,
Both.
no, let's have a UK track off each of you, and then see what
UK.
what you've rode abroad and what you think is.
You go on then, Charlie.
Put you on the
Start.
spot. Right. First thing that comes to mind that you could,
First
I
thing
know you're on
comes-
the spot a bit.
First thing comes to my mind is probably Llangollen. It's just obviously I come from Ford and everything there is pretty flat. So going to Llangollen, you don't have to work for your speed. You just use your brakes for your speed.
I'm
which is-
surprised he hasn't piped
good.
up
I
and
was
given you
waiting for
loads
this. I
there.
was waiting for this. Would you like to explain to him how you say it?
Langollen.
That's how you say it in Welsh.
All the Welsh hate it when people say Llangollen.
I nearly butted in, but I kept myself calm.
Yeah, you should have slapped him around the back of the tip.
I think for people that obviously aren't familiar with the track at Llangollen,
That's it.
it isn't like the Forest of Dean, is it?
No, it's
It's
steep.
it's like, what's it like? It's like
Steep.
something extremely steep on
Yeah.
steroids, and it's very technical, isn't it?
Mm.
Yeah.
What about you, Joe?
Yeah, the first thing comes to mind is definitely Revolution Bike Park. Like, nothing can really beat that for me.
I take it you train there a lot, do you?
Yeah, or like all the time.
Yeah.
It's just the main place to train. And you got proper
Which track?
technical tracks in the rough.
Which is your favourite track there?
Oh god. They're all mint, but probably L1 and the double black there.
Yeah, that's
They're
pretty,
just-
pretty chewed up, proper
Yeah,
track
yeah.
there, isn't it?
Yeah, like
good.
it's probably one of the closest things you'll get to a World Cup track in the UK.
Mm.
So that's what I need to be on, and it's ideal. Like,
That bit
Just
when it
perfect.
comes down onto the ghetto is just awesome, isn't it?
I know.
That's one of those
Yeah.
bits. I'm sure people that have rode Revo out there, they know when you've come into the ghetto section at the bottom with the those roots and stuff and the stumps.
Yeah.
And that's one of those things that when you come out the other side, you're always a little bit relieved,
Yeah,
aren't you?
yeah, yeah.
But it's also one of those bits that you just can't help but kind of get into it a bit
Yeah,
quick. It's the buzz
yeah.
of it, isn't it?
It's,
But
that's where like you see most of the injuries happen around
Yeah.
down that stretch because
Yeah.
it's just flat out rough, and there's like you're skimming trees by like
Yeah.
inch either side of your bars.
that's the
and,
buzz,
like,
isn't it?
yeah, it's
That's
unreal.
why we do it, isn't it?
Yeah.
Titley?
Tricky one really. I do like Llangollen because I do like the sketchier, the steeper, gnarlier the better for me really. I'm not a massive fan of the bike park downhill tracks
No, I'm
really. Just because
No.
they're a bit new school really.
You've always
I
been a
do
gnarly
Yeah,
style
so
rider,
I-
haven't you?
it's going to be a random one, but I do like Glencoe. I mean, they don't use it that often, and I've only done a few races there, but it's so brutal, it scares most people off. So,
Well,
I'm
when
not
you
a
got the
fan of
likes,
something like,
yeah.
I like riding rocks and stuff. So
When
something gnarly like that.
Mark
it's good.
Waitman says it's like what does he describe it? Something it's like he says like Fort William on steroids.
Yeah, it's brutal.
which-
like,
yeah, it's
anything
pretty-
that I like to be scared a little bit, really. So,
Getting scared every day is good for you, apparently.
Yeah, yeah.
Right, World
we
Cup.
are.
Have we got?
We're
we
at
late?
8 o'clock.
Well, we'll come back to that then.
So
8
we'll
o'clock.
carry on with this question in a minute. It's time for the trailhead photo of the week. What we got,
Favorite
Doc?
pick of the week. Well, everyone was late tonight. I'm getting loads coming in now, so I'll use one of mine.
It's not you
So-
into Mayfair, is it, Titters?
So this was down at Fod a
Yeah.
couple of weeks ago. Not
Are you
Fod,
sure?
sorry, Kimber.
Kimber.
A couple of weeks ago. And this boy,
Who sent that in? I
it's-
wonder.
it's Smiley.
God, I tell you what, he's a social media delight, isn't
Yeah.
He
So professional.
he's good on a bike though.
What a boy.
The,
And do you
the
know what?
guy really was flowing beautifully all day, and we had a cracking day down there. So I just thought, let's sneak that.
I've
one
got to
in.
say, as well. You know, he's a great rider, but he does so much, you know, for the kids at the Dawley BMX track.
Yeah.
He does a lot of coaching and stuff, and I take my kids there, and he's got the patience of a saint, and he's so good. He spends the time, and he really brings them on.
Yeah,
so I
yeah.
think he needs recognising for
Yeah,
that. But he's a
he is
sound
the
guy
best.
as well. He always got a smile on his face.
Yeah, yeah. I think before we carry on as well, it's just nice to give a quick mention to our channel partners.
I think we should.
So we have Shop in Town, which is a trailhead. We have V-Rubber, V-Tyre, sorry, you'll kill me for saying that. V-Tyre, not V-Rubber anymore. This is one of their new tyres that we will be talking about next week. It's going to be quite a big deal, and I think they've got inroads to be sending out some great tyres soon.
Well, that's probably going to be on my bike this week, so
It
I
is,
might
isn't
even
it?
have a blast on it, and I might
Yeah.
have a bit of information on that.
And we have Mudhugger there, and we have Bum Butter.
There.
Which, yeah.
That's tested on arseholes in Westminster, apparently.
That's correct, yes. yes.
That's quoting from the owner of the company.
So we've got a couple of other people. I'm not going to mention any names right now. We've been talking with one of which is a majorly big player when it comes to brands. We may be having a meeting soon, and something very interesting could be happening there. That's all I'm saying about
We'll be
that.
quitting our jobs.
I'd like to think so. So, but just finally, before we carry on, I just want to say you are on YouTube. If you're watching this tomorrow, or as we share the link on Facebook, and you're not subscribed, please subscribe to Pin TV on YouTube, like and comment, and
Share
that
the
helps
love.
out. Yeah, that
share the
helps
love.
us out.
Share it out with your mates.
Yeah.
Let's get Pin noticed.
Have we got any questions or anything yet? Or are we just the onlookers tonight?
Again, it's lots of comments. So someone commenting that nice T-shirt. Yeah, this is my V-Tyre T-shirt.
Yeah.
Just so we get that in there. So it's a little bit like Wayne's World, this, isn't it?
Yeah. We'll never sell out.
Oakleaf 7000 or 700 says Titley's ace at woodworking when he's not training. Lone World, Ben Reese. Lone World is a good place to ride. Anthony
that
Webb, wake up to me wife each morning. That'll scare you.
like that one.
She's gonna kill you, dude.
Yeah, you're in trouble.
And then this is from Ben Wallin. It's Jake Wallin. Can you ask Oliver Humphreys to stop being annoying? So stop being annoying.
Oliver Humphreys, who's that?
There's someone watching, dude.
That's
right.
Ollie.
Yeah.
Eh? Oh, Ollie.
It's Ollie,
Oh,
Ollie.
right, yeah, Ollie.
That means
Ollie,
he's
of
probably
course.
threatening somebody online.
Yeah. So I think we'll
yeah.
move it on, shall we?
We've kind of got just about into something, saying about tracks.
Well, we'd said downhill tracks in this country, and now
we
it's
were
abroad.
going abroad.
Just go
So,
through
in
them
brief.
quickly.
Bash 'em out.
Mine's got to be Val de Sol.
Hmm.
I definitely
You know,
agree with that. Yeah.
it's just
Yeah.
insane. It's just immense. Yeah.
Charlie?
For me, probably Andorra.
Yeah?
Similar. Oh, it's
That's
just.
what I want to hear.
That's
Yeah,
where we're
it's
going,
really
isn't
is.
it?
That's where the Masters.
Masters
World
World
is,
Downhill Champs this year, and
So you're doing
myself
that, are
and
you?
Titley
Yeah.
are going to go, and
Who do you think will win out of you two? You're quite close to each other when it comes
Oh.
to races. Come on, have a fight.
I literally,
No.
we're so close.
You-
You,
you
couldn't even
couldn't-
say it. Like,
you couldn't call it, could
couldn't
you?
call it. No.
No. But there's always that
No.
bit. I mean, we've got a healthy rivalry, but no matter what happens,
You've been
and
doing
I've
plenty
seen
of
it on
training.
your
Have you
face.
got out on your bike a lot over the winter, Titley?
I've been training flat out.
I have
Oh,
done
yeah.
nothing, but I'll just,
There you go.
I'm cool with it. It's a steep track. I'll just do it on skill.
Stu's got currently got 4 very expensive ornaments at home. Called his bikes.
Hey, all in good
It won't
time.
make any difference.
You don't want
It'll
to rush
still
it.
be
You don't want to
flat
rush it. But when we've raced each other, you know, we are so
Chop and
close
change,
friends, aren't
don't
we? But
So,
you get to the bottom and you see, you know, I've seen it in your face before, and you've seen it in mine. Whenever we beat each other, you know, you just don't want to get beaten, do you?
it's just. But it
That's
doesn't matter
racing.
though, does it? You
It doesn't
know,
matter
it's,
after when we're necking beer.
Influences. Who were you influenced by? We'll start with you, Titley. Who would you look up to back in the day and thought, I know you've been so early. So amazing.
Yeah, I mean, there's some really early names, you know, that I'd go. You know, Tomac was such a legend. You know, he was. I don't know, he was just cool. You know, he competed hard in, you know, cross country and downhill, and
Yeah.
did some pretty weird stuff like riding with drop bars on mountain bikes and stuff like that. But you know, he was very original.
He's
and
a
sort of
ultimate professional.
yeah,
even
and then
then,
you know,
wasn't
look
he?
at his son now racing supercross and stuff. So you know, it's cool to see that he's, you know, passed it on to his
Yeah.
young'un, like really.
Yeah.
But and then I was, you know, Petey, you know, even though we're really best mates, you know, can't help but look at him and just think how, you know, how well he's done it. You know, although he's very professional, you know, he likes to have a laugh, and
He's
he
had
likes
a good
to have a
time, hasn't he?
beer, and he's enjoying himself.
Mm.
So you know, happy days to that, really. So,
And Joe, who when you sort of, or even now, or when you started getting quick, that you looked up to and thought, yeah, that's the person
When,
I want to be.
when I first started out, it was got to be Hattons because yeah, like 20 minutes away, and we always used to ride all their local stuff.
Yeah.
So it was them, and in my youth years, it was, you know, probably Laurie Green was a huge one,
Yeah.
just because he like marked the road of what I wanted to follow, and winning like junior, like internationally winning as a junior, and then going into elite and just, you know, just dominating as a young kid
Mm-hmm.
on a mint deal. And so yeah, Laurie Greenland as well, and mate, there's so many just sick riders out there.
such
from
a nice lad, like as well,
everywhere,
isn't he?
yeah.
It's-
Exactly, he's just like
It's a good person to sort of aspire to
Yeah.
be like, really, because you know he's got it sorted, really.
That's
It's
how it
just
seems, like,
spot on.
when he
like,
got a big deal, he's, you know, he still seemed like just like a really nice
He's always
boy.
got the same smile on his face.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
he's just
cool,
exactly,
yeah,
he's still
and his
stoked as
dad's
ever.
cool, and you know, happy
Yeah.
days. So,
Dad's fast.
yeah, he's a good
Ben,
rider as well, man.
Still
isn't he?
quick.
Charlie.
Yeah, it's hard to say one name, but yeah, for like style, obviously Brendog. That's who I tried to whip like, and
Yeah.
and then Petey for the racing side,
Yeah.
and he has a lot of fun with it. So
Mm.
yeah, there was no single person. It's just all the boys at the top really. Just make
Yeah, yeah. And then if we're looking now, sort of, you've got two. I always think you've got two types of racers. You've got the ones who the family's very involved with, really supportive.
Yeah.
And then you got the ones mentioning no names whose families couldn't give a toss, and they want to prove something, and they, you know, the angry riders.
Yeah.
You might be able to think of one little Welsh one. Yeah, what I'm guessing you're all family supported riders.
Massively.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I know. Well, I know with you, Titley, your folks have always been
Yeah,
into it
yeah.
and doing
Mum and
everything
Dad
they can.
Lugged me around all the early days before I could drive, but you know, still absolutely, you know, my mum's
I'm nice.
so into
She
the
still
racing.
booking flights
you know.
for you. I know pretty
Yeah.
much every trip
Oh,
I've been on with Titley. Shirley's probably booked the flights and organised everything for us, hasn't
I've
she?
got Ollie Morris now.
She's
my
a
team
legend,
manager.
isn't
Yeah, mum's well into it. She loves it. She follows it. She watches the World Cup races. She knows the results before I do most of the time. Like so, you know, she's just a proper mountain bike fan. Simple as.
And your dad's still well into riding,
yeah, he
isn't
still rides loads. He's super fit, my old man at the moment. You know, just fitter than I've known him for years. Does like loads of running and rides his bike and well into it. Like, yeah, it's cool.
So what about results? I mean, what about races you've done that you think would be like your most memorable races, Joe?
Probably World Champs last year. So 2016 World Champs of Val de Sol.
Yeah.
I had 9th as a first year junior,
That's
and
good,
like
really.
on the hardest track probably of the year, the most
Yeah.
physical track of the year, mentally and like physically, and
It's a big boost to get a result on a track like
yeah,
that.
for sure. At World Champs, you know, as well, like it's probably the race where there's most pressure.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
to
it's
do my best
gnarly.
result at that track under that pressure was
Mm.
just, yeah, got to be the highlight.
Were you expecting to do well, or were you quite surprised?
No, I was, you know, I knew I was capable of it. I just had to do it. And
Yeah.
as I say, like you work like months preparation for it, and it's what is it, 3-4 minutes? 4 minutes.
Yeah.
You have to perform in that 4 minutes. If you don't,
Yeah.
it means
Yeah.
time wasted basically.
Yeah.
So
You're,
that
al-
pressure, yeah.
you're also better off keeping yourself to yourself when you've got a big race, because you know some people, they do say, well, you know, I'm going to go and do this, but
Yeah.
you know, I think from
It's
the
the
rider's
results
point
that
of
talk,
view,
innit?
you're always putting pressure on yourself, whereas even if you know within yourself that you can get that result, for me, I would always rather just say nothing and just
do
wait.
it.
Yeah,
yeah,
because
for
if
sure.
it doesn't happen,
you look like
then
a knob,
Yeah, you know,
I
to put it bluntly.
I think
Wow.
it is 8:10,
Yeah,
which is time for What's Due,
it's product of the week.
product of the week. So, we have a bit of an exclusive.
This is probably the
Titley.
newest product of the week we've ever had.
This helmet, I'll just say this little bit and leave you to it. It's being released today. Its embargo was up today, and it's the Troy Lee A2.
A2,
Yeah.
leading on from the A1, yeah. So,
So the current deal, these boys are all sponsored by Troy Lee and Intense, but we'll talk about that in a bit. So Titley's brought this down to show us. Beautiful helmet.
so this has literally just come out. You know, this is probably one of the. This might even be a world exclusive. Never mind a British exclusive. But yeah, so it's leading on from the A1. Just far more ventilation, 25% more ventilation, so it keeps the head cool. And then again, they've just gone absolutely, OTT with the amount of protection it gives you. So it's got the
It's got the
mixed
mix, yeah.
protection, but then it's also got like a dual density EPS co-molded with EPP, which is 2 different types of foam in specific places around the helmet that. If you have a forward impact at the front, it's
Yeah, we'll put that close up, see if we can get a nice... it might look weird actually because it's yellow, it'll look see-through with the green screen, but you can just about see the MIPS. Essential
Yeah.
with this green screen,
So-
isn't it? The colours.
loads of vents, loads of protection, loads of good adjustment, good for if you want to wear goggles with it and stuff. It's
Weight?
340 grams, which is feels
So-
pretty
Yeah,
light to
light,
me.
yeah.
Even down to the foam inside, it's got like quick wicking pads that anti-mold and all sorts
It's
of
going
stuff.
to take my
you know.
job, isn't he? He's bloody good at this.
They've really thought
Just
about
wake
this
us up in a
one, but-
minute.
So how much is
Yeah,
this going to be
that's-
coming in at?
Yeah, it's 140 quid, but it's probably as good as you can get, really.
Yeah.
So,
Can't put a price on your head.
can't put a
Yeah,
price
exactly.
on your noggin.
I heard you might be able to dismiss or agree or whatever with this. I heard there may be a carbon version of that. Do you know anything about that?
I don't. Sorry.
Yeah,
Can't go any
maybe
further
in
than
the
that.
future. We'll
Yeah,
we'll
mate.
watch out. So that was the product of the week. So questions. We got plenty of questions.
I've got a few coming in now, so they're waking up now. Emmerdale's finished. Right, this is off Matthew Darby. Could you guys sort of tell him what a typical week training is? So gym, road bike, mountain bike. What's your sort of typical week when it comes to training regimes?
Go on, Charlie. You're gonna
There's no point in asking me at the minute.
Right,
So-
I am trained by MTB Strength Factory. So he's in Bristol, so
That's
Yeah,
Ben
Ben
Pledge.
Pledge.
Ben
Yeah,
Pledge,
he trains
yeah.
our team,
I know
doesn't
Ben.
he?
He's a
Yeah,
good
yeah.
lad.
And
Yeah.
he
he's a
knows
really
his
lad.
stuff. He's
Yeah.
on the money with it.
So yeah, it depends what week I have really, because we schedule it into easy, hard, medium training weeks. So I won't do 2 hard weeks in a row. It'll go hard, medium, or hard, easy.
Right.
So on a hard week, I'll be doing stuff every day, whether it's stretching or like flat out turbo sessions or gym. Sometimes even 2 sessions a day. So in a week, it'll probably be 3 gym sessions, 2 turbo sessions, and then a weekend riding.
Stu's head's just gone down.
But
Just
one
like,
thing
wow.
he
I
will
don't think I
always
ever did that much.
emphasise is how you can train as much as you like, but recovery is
Yeah.
such
Especially
a
as
huge
you get older.
part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not so
Yeah.
bad for the young ones,
Yeah,
but as
that's
you get
right,
older,
yeah.
especially like 40, once you reach 40, you've
Especially
got to
Oh,
have
I
to
get up
work
every
it off.
morning.
physically,
Every
like,
morning I get out of bed and literally I look like Gollum wandering across the room, literally with my back
What's
trained
changed?
over.
I
Yeah.
actually
Yeah,
sleep
no,
in the
yeah.
recovery position, just in case.
Well, when you warm up, get
Yeah, that's
get
right,
stamina
isn't
as you
it?
get
Yeah,
older
yeah.
as well. So you tend to be able to keep going and don't run out of steam very quick.
So you-
but
Figures
Like
our
to get
jobs are
going.
physical as well.
Yeah, but you've always been really committed with the training, haven't you? Flat out.
Yeah, I mean,
are you
it's
using
just
Ben as well, are you? Or-
yeah, we're the whole team at
Apart from me.
But you
No,
use
I
Alan,
don't
don't you?
use Alan,
Use Alan
alright,
Millway with.
well, most of the team then.
Yeah. Do you ever turn around to these and say, "Nah, lads, this is how I'm told to do it"?
Well, like got full faith in Alan. I worked with him a couple of years, and
Yeah.
I think he's unreal. So I just stuck with him because he's just unreal. So
Yeah,
And you-
that's a
as
fair
well.
comment. It's why change something that's working
And
for you.
if you
If
want
you've been
to,
working with him for a couple of years, it's definitely the way forward because there's no quick fix to it. You've got
yeah,
to
that's right. Yeah.
constantly keep going with it, keep going with it, keep going with it, especially when you're young like you boys, because
Yeah.
ultimately, you've got a lot of strength and a lot of work to put in that'll get you there in the
Yeah,
end.
for
So
sure.
And don't forget, on the subject of training and Alan Milway, if you want to watch that show that was, what was it, a month ago or so, maybe a bit longer, just go onto YouTube and check it out with Alan Milway. He gave away loads of tips, didn't he, for training. So when you're with Alan Milway, I've got to ask, because we have a very good mutual friend that you train with, Joe Wotton.
Joe Wotton, what a weapon!
And
Yeah.
he is he's motorbike enduro,
yeah.
and he's
So, yeah.
how old is he, Joe now? 21.
21, yeah, I think.
And he's come back from a couple of nasty injuries.
Just
And
broken off a broken leg, yeah.
First race of the year this weekend, and he took on most of his competition, didn't he? I don't think the two top boys were there, but he annihilated them and he got the big win.
He's I train with him quite often, so with me, him and Alan, and
Yeah.
he works so hard, he's just committed,
Mm.
just like a kid's an animal.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
honestly.
If you want to see a
Just
little
grinding.
a little clip of Joe Wotton, I mean, you could like his page, Wotton Racing, but if you go onto our Facebook page and just scroll down, you'll see I put a little clip of him on his 450 in the woods, and he is absolutely flat out.
He's just full commitment to it.
Yeah, he
He's
is.
top
Yeah.
boy, and working with Alan, he's just on a mission.
I'm
Yeah.
conscious that did we get as far as finding out everybody's most memorable races? 'Cause
No, we didn't. We left you two out. Sorry about that.
Charlie,
His
Supposed
most
to.
memorable race, probably. Well, I didn't even finish the race, but for me, it was probably the most memorable because it's Fort William World Cup this year. So coming into the week, I just won the BDS at Bala, so I was feeling good on my bike. And when I got home on the Monday from the race, I had food poisoning. So the food poisoning led into the week of the World Cup. So I thought, this being the roughest track, I'm going to do rubbish here. And then I didn't really practice much. I did 2 or 3 runs. Then we got to our seeding run, our qualification, and I come down in second. I was 0.9 off Finale, so I was
this is
how-
in junior.
yeah, junior. I was like, how has this happened? I hardly ate anything the whole week, and I was like,
Yeah.
what is going on here? So then that obviously revved me up for the
That's
finals, and unfortunately I got a puncture, but
But
Yeah.
it could have been.
yeah, what could have been? I knew in
Yeah.
the back of my mind then that the podium was achievable, so yeah, it's good.
Yeah, good boost from that.
Yeah,
Titters. The one that I'm just going to start off
I
with,
wouldn't even
which
know to start. Really.
well, the thing that springs to mind for me is one of the first things that I ever remember you for, and I think it was you were the top guy, Cap Die,
yeah, Cap Die.
all
yeah.
those years ago.
Yeah,
you beat,
yeah.
you were the best of the
Yeah,
British
to beat
lads.
Petey and Warner and that was pretty special.
And that was
yeah.
World Cup.
World
One of
Cup.
the World
yeah.
Cup. Can you remember where you finished in that? Over.
It's 20 something, but
Yeah. But that, I mean, that's
yeah, and
amazing.
then from
isn't it?
there went on to race the remainder of the World Cups. They went from there on to Åre in Sweden, and was racing. They were back
Yeah.
in the times of Fouliers and all that.
Yeah.
A lot
Yeah.
and so it was pretty
Yeah.
influential times of
Yeah.
world downhilling. So
So
yeah, it's
you
cool.
two lads, I've got to ask, do you? I imagine with this team, with Martin's put it together, and the other guys as well. Do you sort of look up to Titley in a fashion that? See, I'd always say Titley is like your perfect sponsored rider because he's always got that fresh, clean kit ready to go on the podium. He's always got the right stuff on. He always knows the right stuff to say. Is that something Martin said to you? You should look at this guy and how he does it.
Well,
a comment
it's
to it?
Kind of obvious.
Some of the stuff he
Yeah.
does, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's a pretty well-run team, and I think we're all sort of, being nurtured in the right way to make sure that we're saying the right things and doing the right
Yeah,
things.
yeah.
So,
How is hello Martin, if you're watching. haven't seen you for a while. See you at Bike Park Wales next week. Hopefully you've had your computer fixed by now, you know. Answer some emails and stuff. Hopefully he's alright. So,
he's a
can
busy
I-
man.
he is a busy
Can
man.
I just move on from what we were just talking about, which was, you know, most memorable results?
Yeah.
How
Wasn't Danny Hart like... Oh, no.
No, it wasn't. I bored of that one though.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's done water under the bridge. You raced downhill for how many years? Did you say? Can you remember when you started? Was it like 93 or something?
Yeah, something
downhill?
like that. Yeah.
Yeah, so we're talking like 23, 24 years.
Yeah.
Were you junior national champion?
Yeah.
Yeah. But you were never senior national champion.
No.
And you become national champion 3 years ago?
Yeah.
Of course, yeah.
2014,
In your
yeah.
final year of
as a
Masters.
Masters, yeah.
Yeah.
That was good.
And
yeah,
I was lucky
yeah.
enough to be there.
That was quite emotional actually.
It was brilliant.
you know, yeah.
Because
really
I mean,
brought a tear to my eye that one.
I
to
really
be
wanted
fair,
to do well. I crashed unfortunately, and I was peed off, but I knew it was your last year,
Yeah.
and I just always thought, you know, you haven't missed a year in
Yeah,
Masters,
10
and it would have
years
been a
in
crime
Masters,
for you
yeah.
not to have won it
It's
there.
always been a bit of a nemesis, really. You
Yeah.
know, I always wanted it. It had loads of podiums,
Mm.
but just getting that top spot, it always
Mm,
seemed to
yeah.
elude me for some reason. Yeah, so to get it, because I won the enduro overall that year as
Yeah.
well. And
Yeah.
Do
I
you
will
know-
say one of the races that is memorable to me is finishing on the podium up at Inner's enduro when I
Yeah.
broke my shoulder blade
Yeah.
and carried on racing. Like, it's just,
Dig,
Do you
dig.
know my most memorable result, Titley? And this is purely sort of with respect. Was Eastridge last year, the British Enduro,
yeah, you were going well.
and it
there,
was
mate.
because I beat you in not
Yeah.
overall,
On one
in,
Just
in the
saying.
one stage. No, but that's the reason. It was because never would I think I'd have beaten you.
No, you were
And it was
flying,
only because
yeah.
I knew every millimetre of that track and I had it
No.
dialed. But when I come down and I could see it on your face, you're like, I can't believe he's bloody beating me. The useless
It
twat.
goes alright now. It
Yeah,
goes well,
no,
doesn't
you
it?
were going well, and you were on that intense primer.
Yeah, I
bike as
was.
well,
Yeah,
so,
yeah,
you know,
amazing
full-
bike. Yeah, well, you guys know I've ridden Intense for 2 seasons, and I've always been happy with them. And that primer was like, well, it's just a
absolute
breath of fresh air. So I think that should move us on
Yeah.
to the current situation. How did it come about? Let's start with that first. Who was the first one of you lot to know that something was going to happen with Intense and with Saddleback and what have you?
So for me, Martin messaged me, must have been in the summer,
Yeah.
just saying he was setting up a team, and you know, from there we just spoke lightly, like not often, but all the way through the summer. And then as it got nearer and nearer the off season,
Yeah.
you know, we had a team day with all the possible team riders,
Yeah.
and just from there it just built and built and built until like now we are here, and it's like absolutely sick. So.
Yeah.
I mean, as far as the team goes, you know, when we had the rider day last year, it wasn't even, you know, there was more riders that were invited to potentially be on the team, you know, and then they, you know, whittled it down. Some of the riders, you know, that turned up for the rider day, some people didn't even turn up.
Yeah.
Some people gave excuses like, oh,
Wow.
I can't get a lift and stuff like that, and it was like, you know, ultimately that showed the commitment and that them
Wasn't there
being-
one of them from Shropshire? I don't want to
Possibly.
say who it is, but I
Yeah.
think there was one from Shropshire who's a fast rider and he must have been kicking himself afterwards. So the bikes, should I say?
Dreaming of me.
Are you
Yeah.
both? Are you all on both? You all
Yeah,
got
yeah.
a tracer
So,
and
yeah.
the downhill bike?
Yeah.
M16 carbon.
Yeah. All got MVs and
MV,
they're
I think.
fully tricked out, aren't they?
Yeah.
Beautiful.
So the downhill bike, what I mean, if somebody had to, you know, put their hand in the pocket, what's the cost of one? About $4,000, $5,000 maybe.
Times that with
For the
Six?
wheels.
6.
10 grand they are, about 10 grand.
Yeah, and what sort of engine has it got in it?
Fast one.
These
That's
ones.
That's next year, but is that 450 or 250?
No.
But I mean, everything on them. I mean, I appreciate they are ridiculously, you know, expensive.
But they are also quality.
But they
yeah.
are the absolute, you know,
Dogs.
Lamborghinis of bikes.
Yeah, they've
you
got
know.
everything.
Sure.
They're
Everything
brilliant.
on them is like the highest spec you could ever imagine, with the Envies, the Chris King, the Rotor
Yeah.
cranks, you know, intense bikes, you know.
But, like,
they're just. they're
I
just
say you
immense,
can
aren't
pick
they?
them up from around $5,000, can't you?
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
it's
you get the
just-
lower specs.
yeah,
it's just 'cause,
yeah, it's everything
yeah.
on
Because
them
we're
just
running
built
full
up.
envy,
Mm.
and then we got like like carbon Envy cockpit, carbon wheels
Yeah.
from Chris King, and that whacks it right up. But yeah, just
Cool stuff though.
Well, I'm
It's really
a
nice.
fellow Envy runner.
Yeah,
I've been
so,
running them
yeah.
for 3 seasons, and I'm a big fan.
Yeah, they're
Cockpit
amazing.
and rims,
Unbelievable.
Just rims.
Just
I've
rims,
run
yeah.
the cockpit, yeah, no problems with that. But we're rentful a bit, aren't we, Stu?
Yeah.
Rentful.
Yeah. Quite rental.
Yeah, quite like
Yeah,
it.
they're-
Can I interrupt with one very quick one for Stu? Stu, can you say goodnight to Sienna for Ben?
For Ben?
Yeah, Ben Wallins.
Oh, he's
Yeah.
he's looking after it. Night, Sienna.
She got to go to bed now. No, night, Sienna.
That's,
Sienna.
that's Ollie's little girl.
Brilliant. I think we need to give away some stuff. We're nearly at the end of the show.
We could almost give away. So I want to talk about this. Has anyone seen these?
Ah, yeah.
These have been flashing around all over the place lately, and I bet you know what they are.
Oi, oi.
Yeah, I know.
Ben
Oi, oi.
Ben
We've
Deacon.
got a mate of ours, Ben Deacon, the Deaconator,
Yeah.
and
Future guest.
and he's brought out these socks. Oi, oi. I've got mine on. Look. I've got one already. My hip's not very good, but there you go. I've got
Oi,
one
oi.
already.
Listen to the old man.
I know, that was my hip clicking. But I've got to say, the thing made me chuckle. He put a little note in there, and he put, if you find them too powerful, fold them down so they just show the oi. If you need to speed up, unleash the full oi oi. Catch up with you soon, boys. So he's got a good sense of humour,
How
and
many of them notes?
we've
He's-
managed to get hold of a set of the oi oi socks.
He's
So
got
we
his-
look forward to having him on the show.
We
don't
do look forward to
Yeah,
having him on the
yeah.
show.
Good luck.
Yeah.
I just want to say, going back to the bikes very quickly, we have got one of the tracers here which we were going to show just to show you, but I don't think these chaps realise how tight for space we are here. It may look like my shed in the background, but it's just a green piece of cloth behind our heads.
Yeah, that trace is pretty special.
But the
bike,
tracer
yeah,
is
to be
gorgeous,
honest.
isn't it?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
a very nice, very
I mean-
factory looking bike.
Yeah,
It's
with
the same.
For anybody that wants to have a look at your bikes and all that, have you got a specific Facebook page or Instagram or anything where people can
So-
find you?
Yeah, we got just started a page on Instagram. It's just Intense Racing UK.
Okay. Well, we'll do all the Instagram accounts at the end.
Yeah.
So
I
for
think we need
anybody
to get the
out there
products
who
on.
wants to follow these guys, then you'll have the
So
information
what
shortly.
we got? Bloody hell, we've got some kit. 2 Troy Lee hats. We have Troy Lee gloves.
pretty big though. Them ones.
Is this the what's this here? a nice Troy Lee, a nice Troy Lee t-shirt there. And so, what do you want to do? How many giveaways?
Well, I'll tell you what I reckon.
One
we
each?
Someone's not going to need like 2 caps of those.
No.
We'll
So
put you on the spot because what we normally do is that we get
I'd
whoever's
say 1,
giving the
2,
prizes away.
3.
You have to think of a question for the audience
Yeah.
and ask the question. And first one in with the right answer wins that thing. So, how many products have we got?
Well, I'd
One
say
each.
we're 1 each. We can have a t-shirt, we can have 1 cap, and then we can have a cap and a pair of
then.
gloves.
So whoever's feeling like they want to go first.
Can
you
we just say
ask
quickly, is
everybody-
this the 2017 Troy Lee stuff? I'm guessing it will
I
be.
think
Yeah.
it is. Yeah.
So
Sounds
check that stuff out online. It's lovely, isn't it? You can't really knock Troy Lee,
No,
can you?
It's as good as it gets.
Yeah.
Isn't it? It's pretty
Nice to
good.
wear some, wouldn't it? Imagine wearing that stuff.
That'd be amazing.
Yeah,
that
it would be. You'd be bloody hell,
Well,
you look,
cool
you
and
look
that,
pinned.
wouldn't we? Yeah.
So what questions do you want to ask, boys? Do you want to, Charlie?
Charlie,
do you
you
want to
go
do that?
first.
One for that.
Right.
Ask away.
Before
we do this, for
Give him a
anybody
pen,
that's
Stu. Give him a
interested
pen to
in
write the answer to give
doing
to
it,
Doc.
Doc, do you want to just explain to people what they need to do so we don't get any confusion in terms of comment to who
Right,
or what or
comment on the YouTube feed, guys.
Yeah.
So if you comment on YouTube and it's the name that I call out, we try and get the first person to answer the question, but there's sometimes a delay, especially if you're using mobile phones. So if you're watching it
That's
on
a
your
good
phone,
Question about
Yeah.
cloth.
You don't have to write it down. All
So
you've got to do is
basically-
answer it.
someone.
Yeah,
the
well,
name that
something
I
about
shout
you
out
as
is
a
the
rider.
person that's
Nothing
on
too
it, guys.
hard.
We'll
I
do
know,
our best
answer
to
it.
try and get the
Yeah.
first person.
You could do anything. You can do how tall am I, or what colour's my hair.
How long is
What?
my?
I think that's
doesn't
the longest,
matter.
that one.
How
Right.
long is my hair?
Here we go. Then here's a question. How tall am I?
Good thinking.
In feet.
Original.
In feet.
In feet.
And inches.
Go.
Does it have
Do
to
you
be
know?
like spot on or what?
I don't know how tall I am. Depends what shoes I've got on.
Yeah. Here we go.
When I got my heels, I'm a bit taller.
I'll show it to Doc. There you go, Doc.
Have we got any yet?
Right, okay.
Okay,
Well, we
so
can come
while,
back to
while
that.
they're thinking about that one,
In fact,
Titley,
actually, we're gonna have to
Oh, they're
give them a
getting
few.
closer,
We're gonna have
They're
to.
getting closer.
We've got to do it, otherwise Doc will get mixed up with lots of
Yeah,
different
that's
numbers.
true,
so
that's true.
you just have to bear with us.
Right,
2
yeah,
minutes.
we've got one
We've
there.
got one.
Ashley Lewis. Well done, Ashley.
Congratulations.
Ashley
Ashley.
Lewis, who is 4'3". Well done.
Ashley, if you can message us on Pin's Facebook page with your contact details, we'll get that over
And
to
you are
you.
now the proud owner of that lovely cap.
So,
Very nice.
Titley, do you want to do the t-shirt?
Yeah, I'll do the t-shirt. So my question is, what does it say on my cap?
Wow. That question's
I bet
pretty
Jim can't read that from that close.
Hey, no. If we don't get that immediately, I'll be absolutely amazed.
We've gone
Well,
all quiet, haven't we?
We might not be able to see, so I'll just go a bit further forward just in case you can't see.
Right, and we've got a. Oh, yeah, there's a few of them got this one.
First one.
First one, isn't it?
Tyler Hughes.
Never.
Oh,
Yeah.
well done.
This is. We've got to say at this point, this is not a fix
It's
because
not a fix at all.
he's hot on the button and he just wants to win everything.
There you go,
Yeah.
Tyler. You've just got your dad a nice
Nice one, dude.
t-shirt. There you go.
But you're boy, is it? I tell you what, we could do.
Yeah,
We could do because there's another T-shirt that might fit him a bit better.
yeah,
Maybe we could do another one and put that one
Okay.
back in. How's that sound?
yeah. All right, yeah.
So
So
we've
do
got
another one.
So we can do
Another one for
Do
that.
another one.
Do another one for that.
Well, we'll
Titley.
come back to it. Joe,
Joe.
what's your question?
So to win this cap and these mink gloves I ride, who is the owner of Intense Cycles?
Ah, good
That's a
question.
good question.
That is a good question,
Yeah,
and I think we
yeah,
might
yeah.
have to have a bit of a chat. For
And
a
a
few
cool
minutes.
guy, I will say. I've spoken to a few times. Nice.
And he's coming over to the Saddleback House show in, was it next week?
Yeah, next week, yeah.
So that'll be
Seven.
in Bristol, that'll be really cool.
Do you guys get the Saddleback magazine now you're on the team? Do you know
Yeah,
they do
we
a
will do,
magazine they
yeah.
send out?
Yeah.
I've been in that a few times.
Pretty
Right, that
special publication, that, isn't it?
It's nice, isn't it? It is nice. Really professional.
Who is?
Whoa, you better write it down. It's on there, isn't it?
Mm.
On there at the top.
It's up there.
Yeah, we have. I thought it was, but I couldn't
was it,
remember because I was drinking gin with him. I think when I met him.
You're drinking gin.
It is the first man was definitely Mr. Crookshire.
Crookshire.
Crooksy.
Crooksy.
Well, it just says Mr. Crookshire on here.
No, well, it's got to be him, hasn't it?
Peter
think so.
Crooks.
Let's just have a quick look at that.
Alan Lancaster said Martin. No, it's not Martin.
We might have to just redo that one. Oh no, it's not for that. I thought it was
It's,
for the t-shirt. I was going to say if it's a t-shirt, that would be
Bit of a
down to his
fat lad,
knees.
isn't he? Oh right.
Crooksy, he's a jammy devil, isn't he?
So Titley, do you want to do another one
We're
for
gonna
that
You can do
t-shirt?
that one there, Charlie.
Right, they
There
can't
you
think of
go.
any questions. Right, this is for the grey Troy Lee t-shirt. Again,
as we may have some small
Small
ones here that fit children. anyway.
okay. Charlie, fire away. What question? Right, what was the first race I ever won, and where?
Ah.
Oh,
Get
where?
on
Just
Google,
do where.
guys.
Roots and Reigns.
Yeah, I'm gonna write
Who
that
can
one
work the
down.
internet
I already
fastest?
said it earlier on, didn't I? So,
Yeah,
I
it's
think-
pretty
right.
easy one this.
While we're waiting for these questions to go in, I've got a question that he's asked it about 15 times, so let's get it in. Youngster doing his first race
Yeah.
at Style Cop.
Yeah.
He's 13 years old, and in the first race at Style Cop in a few weeks, can you give him some tips, please? And his name is Ben Hickin.
Oh well, I reckon I could probably pick that one up for starters, simply because Tyler's first race was at Style Cop.
Yeah.
And very, very friendly. Get your dad to ride down with you. He'll probably have to do a race because I reckon I know these people.
Yeah.
And you know, just enjoy yourself. You know, don't
Yeah.
try and think I'm going out there. I really got to win. Just have fun on your bike. But you'll find that everybody there, they're awesome. They're really friendly and they really promote the kids. Anyone else got any advice?
I always say to Todd, whenever I'm riding with Todd, is relax. Just that's all I ever say. Relax, don't worry about it, and it's fine. If they're
just
relaxed,
Yeah.
yeah.
And just race your own race. Don't
Yeah,
worry
yeah.
about anyone else or what anyone else is wearing or how factory or how
Yeah.
cool they look. Doesn't matter. Just race your own race and enjoy it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
And good luck, fella.
Yeah,
Go
yeah,
for it.
good
Hope
luck.
you enjoy
Keep it
yourself.
pinned.
So,
Can someone write me the answer down to that last question? Because we've got a load coming in now and I'm going to get lost otherwise. On here.
That doesn't say at all. That's an F.
Right. So, yeah.
You know.
we got that one, have we?
I hope so.
Yeah, I'd say we got
Someone
it.
said the red run.
The red run.
Yeah.
Good answer.
Right, so it's Daniel MR. He'd got FOD down as the answer.
Nice
so,
one, Daniel.
So Daniel, if you can message us your details, dude, we'll get that out in the post to you.
If you could message that on Facebook,
On Facebook.
Facebook, our page.
There you are.
So, I mean, we're at the hour already, boys. We're actually past the hour. I think the last thing to say really is what we're doing now is we've got a bit of a new thing where we're going to have a guest on one week, or guests, and then the next week, as we're coming towards the season, we'll be having no guests. We may end up also having a co-host. Because the following week, like next week, we'll be talking about products, talking about things that have been going on because there's racing starting. So next week's going to be really busy with things.
There's a lot
'cause
more to talk
a
about.
lot of people have sent me stuff and information and bits and pieces that is really, really worth talking about. So I'll just reel through it real quick, just literally one or two words. Next week, new bike for me, more channel partners, Bike Park Wales race, mini enduro. Big competition we're running to win a load of swag. Information about Tweed Love. Information about PT Steel City. Information about me and Enduro Mag. A new show venue. PT's new sealant. And the Hook It podcast. And finally, future guests we may be having. Alex Rankin. Didn't know that, did you, Stu?
I do now.
Ben Deacon, Ollie Wilkins, Katie Curd, Ben and Joe Wotton, and others in the pipeline. So I think what we need to do now is just these lads to give out their Instagram accounts. Fire away.
So my Instagram account is Joe_Breeden, which is BREEDEN 17, and that's my account. Give it a follow if you
there
want
you
to see
go.
some.
Titley?
Mine's just Titley Mong.
Titley Mom.
Titley Mom.
Charlie is
My missus did that, so
desperately
that's
searching his right now.
Here we are.
I don't
Can
know
you
if
see
I'll
it?
read that.
No.
Right, it is Charlie_Hatton 1.
Right, the number one.
Yeah,
Okay.
number 1.
That man over there.
Well, ours
Jim-
is on screen now, Stu. Have you
Oh,
seen?
Yeah, put a little
We're
tag
on
out,
screen.
it's
Stu
all right.
didn't even need to say ours.
I was just. Well, there you go. I was just been
Well,
organised. Never
yeah.
mind. I couldn't make
So yeah, get onto the YouTube channel, check out our latest vlog, which is how to fit a Huck Norris. Hopefully it's quite useful to people out there. And massive thank you to these lads
Yeah,
for joining
thanks
us.
for
Been
coming
really
on.
good.
It's been
It's
really
gone
Yeah, it's
ridiculously
flown by,
fast,
yeah,
hasn't
it's
it?
been good, yeah.
Yeah.
And we will see you next week with either news from or maybe even at a new venue.
Which would be good. And don't forget to like and subscribe over at Pin TV on YouTube.
Yeah. See you later, guys.
Have a good
Thanks for
week.
watching.
Keep it pinned.
Bye.
See you guys.
See ya.